Hi everyone, this is Annabel from Next Level Business Insights, and I'm here to show you my top tips on using Xero. Number one, if we go over to sales invoices, you can see that there are sections within Xero that are labelled draft and awaiting approval. And if we go into the draft section, you can see that there has been some invoices created and they are waiting for someone to go through and approve these invoices. So this draft invoice, we can do one of two things with it. We can either submit it for approval, or we can just go straight to approve an email. You can also just approve, so you don't have to email it out straight away, but you can just approve an email. So what I do is I tend to put it into approval, do my batch of invoicing that I need, and then I go back into the approval system and go check these one by one. And in here you can see we've got this invoice is going off to this customer. They're tagged for online payments with PayPal. And then if we're happy for this to be approved, we click approve. And then go back into invoices, awaiting approval, and check this one that goes off to Hamilton Smith Limited. Same again, I'm happy, it's correct, we hit approve. Now, I hear you saying, well, how do you then email this out? What we do is we go into invoices, we go to the awaiting payment section, and what we want to do is search for unsent only items. If you search there, you will then be able to see that we have a bunch of invoices that haven't actually been sent out to the customer. And what you want to do is tick that top button, go through them, make sure everything should be sent. If it's been approved, there's no reason for this invoice to not be emailed out. Hit email, and here it will pick up all of the data from the customer's profile. Now, if there's no data in there, you need to include it, and as soon as you include it in here, it will be included into the customer's profile as well. So it's very, very helpful. And then we click send. Tip number 2. Now this one people don't seem to know about, which is a really good, nice, easy way to get yourself from being reliant on paper and now being paper free. So if we go to business and we go to bills to pay, we are in the supplier section of Xero. Now, a lot of people don't know about automate bill entry. They think this is a chargeable feature within Xero. It's not. If you set up automate bill entry, you can go to the e-invoices section and you can learn about e-invoices, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. What you do is you copy this email, and when you receive an email from a supplier with the invoice attached, you email it into this email address. My suggestion is that you go into your contacts, you create this as bills Xero or supplier Xero, whatever would be a good way for you to recognize this email address as specifically for your supplier invoices into Xero. And then send it on in. And what happens is it sits within the draft section. Now, there's nothing in here at the moment, but I can demonstrate it for you if you like. So I've gone in and I've sent this invoice to myself, and you can see it's sat within draft, which is ace. And then what we want to do is go in, double check the information in here, and then we can go through and either approve it outright, or we can go and save and submit for approval. Now, some of these errors will occur because it doesn't populate everything. The times that this would populate is if you've stipulated it within your customer and your supplier profile information. So in here, this could be that it's 7 days, it could be 20 days, it could be 30 days, whatever it is. So if you populate it within your supplier's profile, it will just automatically chuck it in. So yeah, that's another functionality for you, is using the automate bill entry. This email address is unique to everyone. So this email address would only work for me, or for the demo company, I should say. Tip number 3 is all about your contact information. Now, I can't stress enough, when you put good data in, you get good data out. So if we look at some of these profiles, you can see 24 locks has gone in. However, there is no contact information in here whatsoever. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a completely useless profile for anyone to use. At the bare minimum, you need the primary contact information with the email address, with the telephone number, with the website, billing address, delivery address, and I always say put your sales and purchase defaults in, depending on whether they're a customer or a supplier. So what do I mean by that? This is assuming this is a sales customer. You want to make sure that it always goes to revenue. Your invoice due date is 14 days after the date of invoice. Then the amounts are use organisation settings. This means that you've preset whether you want to be tax inclusive or tax exclusive when you're putting in, or whether you've got no tax at all. And I'll touch on the user organisation settings on another video so that we can go into more detail and how to set it up that way. Same again for the VAT. This is relevant for when you're VAT registered or not VAT registered, whether it's UK sales or overseas sales. So it is important, but we are using this in a very generic way right now. Also, if this customer is a customer that you always apply a discount to because there's some special promotion with them when they joined, this is how you can preset this so that it just sets it every single time. You don't have to remember to do these things. Some customers you might have to apply a credit limit to. Put this in, and I will show you why it's good to have this information. And same again, if it was a purchase, so if it was a purchase ledger item, so it's a supplier that we need to add information for. Same again, put this in. This could be direct expenses. It's due 14 days after the bill date, and what we do is we save and close in here, and go over to financial details. You can see some of this has already been populated, and if I went to go and create an invoice for 24 logs like such, it will pre-populate the preset data that I've given it. So we go 24 logs, and you can see it's already added 7 days. If I put in here that I wanted to put a sale in of £50, it's already preset the account for me, which is awesome. So use your contact area to your advantage. The more you put in, the better we can analyze, and I will show you how to do some really cool analysis out of Xero in a whole other video because it just deserves all of that time. We're now on to tip number 4. So we are going into the reporting area. If we go into accounting and reports, you'll see there is a bunch of reports in here that have been created by Xero. So they are standard reports that you can change and tweak and modify. Now, that you can see there's so many here, it's crazy. My favourite report to go through is if we go into account transactions. Now, I love a detailed sales report. So what I do is I select all accounts and I select my period. So I'm going to select this month. And we want to go and change the account type so it only picks up revenue accounts. And because basically what I'm saying is I'm not trying to remember all of my sales account, all of my revenue accounts. I'm just going to select all of my accounts and my chart accounts, and I'm going to filter it out for anything that has revenue. Now these 9 columns are preset within this report, but you can modify it to your heart's content. I love the contact information, I love the net, the invoice. I'm not so keen on the gross and the VAT because ultimately when I'm looking at sales reporting, the VAT's irrelevant because the VAT gets sent over to HMRC anyway. It's not my money. So I take the VAT off, I take the gross off, I keep the running balance, and then I go and update this piece of reporting. And in here, you can see that we've had a couple of invoices and we have a running total for revenue. Now, you're probably sitting there going to me, yeah, but month on month, this can be a bit of a beast of a report. So if I go to last month and update it, we've got a few more lines, but you're likely to have lines and lines and lines and lines and lines and lines and lines of information. Now, on a different video, I'm going to show you how to create the best sales report that you can use within Google Sheets, and it will be awesome and you will love it, but I'll show you in a different video. Last but not least is the final section that I want to touch on, contacts. So you'll see that we have all contacts, we have them segregated as customers, suppliers, archived, and we have a section called group. Now, if you have a sales team that have individual customers and you have them as, say we had Bobby, we had David, we had Karen, and we had Sally. They are all part of my sales team, and I want to be able to track individual customers for these guys. So what I would do is I'd go into my customer profile and go, okay, I need to go and find the basket shop. And I know that that basket shop is one of Sally's customers. So what I do is I go to the three dots in the corner and you go to manage groups. And in here, we tick who it's relevant to and we apply. And now you'll see this little bobble has appeared here for Sally. Now, when I go back to contacts and I go to customers and I want to see who sits under Sally's customer group, voila, there they are. I will talk about how this is incredibly helpful in another video. So I'm going to do a video about sales reporting, and I'm going to do on that video how to utilize this functionality to your absolute max within the business. Xero is incredibly powerful, and like I said earlier, you've got to give it good data. You've got to put good data in to get good data out. You put crap in, crap is going to come back out again. So make sure you've taken notes of everything that I've said, and then before you want to go on to the next video so that you can see the next level of bringing this basics into that kind of amazing reporting, go through your contacts, go through your customers, tag them by sales rep, and pick up the next video once you've done that piece of work, because it will be revolutionary, I guarantee it. But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my page to kind of keep me going, because I really love doing these videos and helping you guys out. Comment below on the things that you want to know about Xero. There is not one thing that I don't know about Xero, so just try me and I will figure it out for you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.